Hello, dear viewers, and welcome back to Saving Often. We are done with scary games, horror, awful, tired of spiders, and so I am jumping back into a good old-fashioned point and click, and I am doing it with my dear pal David. Back again from abduction, he is joining me through this Wadget Eye point and click. David, how the hell are you?
I'm very happy to be here. I know that the audience maybe isn't. You guys thought you were rid of me. I'm back. I'm going to solve a puzzle or two. Maybe you wanted those zombies. We saw the fan reaction, and it was kind of they love the zombies, and so we're gonna do this instead. So screw you guys.
There was a groundswell of support for the zombies, millions and millions of views, comments such as, nobody's ever played a scary game on YouTube before, this is so novel. But no, I have an audience, I have a core audience that I need to attend to, and I need to make you guys happy. So, the mainstream people, they can all go away. We're getting back to point and clicks, baby.
Such minutia does not sell out. That's the bottom line here.
So this is going to be a little bit different from our abduction playthrough. We chose abduction when we played it because there was a lot of room for us to kind of talk and postulate over, not a lot of dialogue, but this is more of a classic point and click. So there's going to be, standard ass puzzles and lots of talking. So, on the bright side, you'll get less of us chattering, which is, always a good thing.
I think both of us are going in blind for this one. Wadget Eye has a very good reputation, especially during the drought period for adventure games getting releases. So I'm excited to play something that's got a solid track record that I'm just completely fresh for me.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of experience with Wadget Eye games in general. But Technobabylon is one that has always caught my eye. This and the Blackwell games, I've heard so many good things about those, so I'd love to get through those at some point. But this seemed like a really good fit for both of us. And so we figured that, hey, let's try it out. And if we embarrass ourselves on YouTube because we can't figure out a simple pixel hunt, then, who are we? We don't even deserve to be playing adventure games, so this is going to be fine.
Oh, Rick, getting stuck in an adventure game is the core experience.
That is true. It's the core gameplay loop. It's just being confused. So anyway, I hate to cut this sweeping introduction music short, but enough smarm. Let's adventure.
Looks like you found the place.
You're sure this is the one?
I'm positive. Lava Sesame goes my mandala in the trance. There's a big gap in the records, and it's shaped exactly like her.
I thought you said he put a lot of effort into it.
They've been hiding her activity, but weren't covering up their own work very well.
If they did, then Ah!
How are the headaches?
Won't be a problem for much longer.
You understand the plan?
Don't worry. I know exactly what I'm doing. After all, I've been planning this for years.
Ooh.
Technobabylon!
One prisoner of consciousness.
There's nothing like being in trance. A world built of abstracts and intellect, of tangible thought, where every part has been crafted by an individual soul. It's the purest form of contact a person can have, mind to mind. It's the pinnacle of human achievement. Some might say that achievement in the physical world is somehow more meaningful. To them I say, join the future or be surpassed by it.
Yeah.
Within the trance, we are millions of minds as one. But even as far as we've come, there's still one serious flaw. Its reliance on the real world as its backbone.
I mean, you gotta have a server somewhere.
Right. Or else this happens.
And disconnections. Damn. Don't panic. I'll just go and speak to the building manager. It's not like there's anything to be afraid of out there. Let's get this over with.
Oh man, we've got an interface.
First order of business, complain that the internet's down.
Second order of business, check our inventory. Okay, so we've got an inventory down here. A kind of a newsfeed, mailbox, and trance. This would be how we disconnect from trance. What do we have up here? Oh, we have a main menu up here with our saving, loading, and our settings.
We're going to be using that function a whole lot here.
I'm going to be saving so often. Okay, so we've got a couple of options here if we need them. Speech hold, text float, commentary. Won't be turning commentary on, but I think that we're just gonna.
We haven't seen the walk speed yet, and I'm wondering if we're gonna need to crank that up or not.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. Well, you know,
let's just...
after going through 7 parts of Resident Evil and having 29 saves, exactly only 29. I only had 1 to spare in Resident Evil 1. And after that experience, I'm just gonna save my game. It just feels good.
Oh yeah. Now we never have to watch that intro again, except that it was so cryptic that maybe I should watch it again later to understand what was actually happening.
Let's see. Before we go out of trance, let's check our news feed. Oh, there's no connection.
Yeah, like what are you gonna do? But you do get a ad there for one of the Blackwell games.
No, that's movie. That's Blackwell the movie.
Part of an entire cinematic universe.
Oh man, I can't check sport. I can't see weather.
You're gonna have to look out the window to check the weather.
Okay. Let's what about a mailbox? We've got some mail here. Let's check it out real quick. From the city of Newton, received 10 July 2087, subject circumstances. Dear Ms. Sesame, this message is to remind you that you have not been attending your scheduled employment meetings. If you do not inform us of absences, you risk losing housing support from the city. You have been receiving city support benefit for 711 days, and we hope that you will be able to improve your circumstances soon. This is from Baron M. O'Shea, Lieutenant Colonel O'Shea to be specific. On July 9th, 2087, the subject was a proposal. Dear Sir/Miss, my name is Marcus O'Shea. I am the Chief Financier for the Oklahoma General Martin Carter. His recent death at the hands of a rival warlord has left me with 150,000 quanta of his finance. If you will allow me to transfer through your bank accounts, I can offer to share...
Just tune the rest of that out.
From T.I. Root. Received July 9th, 2087. Subject, let's meet up. Hey, Dala. Seems like we haven't seen you in years. No idea if you heard, but there's a big game coming up at the Rotunda. If you're up for leaving your apartment, we can probably get you a place on the team. XOXO-T. From EXS Pharma, received July 9th. Subject, amazing deals on chem. Do you want the extra interface speed without the extra cost? Extra speed with extra farm. Open attached imag for more order info.
Well, we did save our game, so we can risk it if we want to. That's the dangerous thing.
Oh, there is an attachment there, isn't there? Huh. Let's check this one here from Toxic Sigma, received July 4th, subject, Grow Guide. Yo, Dala, good hearing from you, though I know really it means you want something. Basically, yes, the batch of blue wetware you got is cracked, so you can grow it yourself, just don't gray goo your place. It needs a few things. 1, water, since that's what makes up 99% of it. 2, nutrition, it's an organism after all. 3, heat, in the normal stuff it'd cause it to break down, but this blend is activated instead.
Do you think that's going to be a puzzle hint?
I would guess so, yes.
Water, nutrition, and heat. Well, I don't like that.
Oh, malware.
No, I'm not storing that in my brain. Not unless I want to wake up in some factory in China in 10 years.
A badly disguised virus package designed to trick the gullible into opening it. It might steal info, force you into a botnet, or just wreck systems for the hell of it. Well, I don't really want to have brought that into the world, so let's just go ahead and close out of trance.
Better Better go and talk to the building manager. Ah! Ouch. Huh?
Access error. Password error.
Password error, huh? I guess the door's broken too. Contact manager. I'm trapped?
For the first time that you can remember, the prospect of staying inside your apartment is frightening to you.
If this game were slightly newer, I would read it as a like jab at millennials.
It's not that old. It's only a few years old.
I'm just thinking in terms of like the news cycle is always like, oh, the kids, they don't know how to like function in reality.
Of course, of course. Let's see what we got here. Our window, a recycler, a shower curtain, a trophy, food.
Food, yum.
Yum. There's a grate here, some cables, left locker, middle
Lockers.
locker, right locker, a pile of clothes. All these hotspots. Vent, door panel. Wow. So
Starting
much to
off
see,
with a
dude.
good, bottle room puzzle.
The shower curtain glows an eerie, yet somehow soothing blue. Your project must have finished its final stages. The gaping black chute dominating the food machine's top half is where used trays and cutlery are deposited for recycling. The new materials are melted down and vacuum formed into new utensils every time you order a meal. Some places use metal utensils, but down here in the poor blocks, it's all just plastic. The apartment's food machine, which pipes your infrequent meals straight into your home in semi-solid form. Your machine's been broken for a while, but you haven't noticed. You've been too busy trancing. That doesn't seem like a healthy life choice.
Even if I could see out, it's not a nice view. Hundreds of other Skanto apartments in the barrel. The darkness is supposed to encourage people to move out. Not me. Just makes trancing easier.
Bump this music down just a touch.
The NetGames trophy I won in '84. I don't know why I've still got it. I pretty much scrapped everything else to build the wetware still. I'm not sure when I got this out of the machine. It's still soggy though.
Well,
means it's
that's
good.
delightful. The large drain in the floor means that cleaning the room can involve as little as hosing everything down. Cheap is the way it's done in here.
Exposed fiber optics everywhere. I think they deliberately do this to make it less pleasant to live here. One of the lockers where I keep a few things I've got in meat space.
Meat space, is that what we call reality?
One of
Yeah.
the lockers where I keep a... One of the...
Do you have a different click for opening?
Yeah.
Nothing in here.
Yeah, left click is interact and right click is look.
I usually keep clothes in here. Looks like I need to go to the support office to get more printed. Nothing in here.
Do you have anything in your active inventory? Because you're in like meat space now. No, you could just
I just
connect
have
back
trance.
to trance and
Yeah.
get frustrated.
The pile of clothes is full of blue overalls, the kind provided by the city to the unemployed. Made out of a cotton paper blend, they are mulched and recycled into new clothing rather than cleaned. The future's amazing!
Mm-hmm.
What's this notice?
Tenancy rules. City housing support. This housing is provided as is by the City Department of Social Welfare, until such time as you are able to secure employment. Basic facilities are provided within. Since your stay is temporary, please do not damage. Temporary? Huh. I've been here for 2 years now. Even if I cared that much about the apartment's rules, the sign's fixed to the wall. The vent cover above the door. It lets the air in and keeps the vermin out. The way out, still standing in my way. Normally staying in the apartment would be ideal, but now that I have no choice about it.
Let's find out what's inside the shower. Her wetware still?
It may take up the entire bathroom, but the still is totally worth it. By growing my own wetware at home, I'll never need to leave the apartment again, unless something like this happens.
You remove the gelatinous clump of semi-organic wetware you've been cultivating in the still. It looks like it's grown enough to be usable by now. What the hell? Why are we growing Jell-O in the bathroom?
This is, I think, what the email was.
Techno-organic wetware gel. It's for connecting my brain's wetware to the external systems.
Okay,
yeah,
so it's basically just like some brain lubricant to get your mind inside the matrix.
Okay.
It may take up the entire... By growing... The still is empty. It'll take at least a few hours to grow another batch of wetware. Guess I'm not as strong as I thought. I'm not getting out this way.
You'll need some leverage.
Well, not when you spend the entire time all day on your phone, young lady. Got a trophy.
The window frame is welded in. Even if I could open it, it'd be a 150-meter drop to the bottom.
Reaching your arm in the recycling slot can only end in tears.
Ooh.
Ooh. We can get food. We
Protein
can get a protein
surprise.
E168 nutrient complex or sucrogelatin complex. Okay.
You can take the memory.
It won't come out. It must be locked into place. Okay, but I can eject it. A physical memory module containing the recipes that the food machine uses to make its mulch marginally less depressing. Oh, we can't change to metal because of the safety settings. THE Foods, your future on a plate.
Hey, we're not children! Lousy suicide rate.
A food tray obligingly pops from the machine's serving slot, completely empty. The pipes must be blocked again.
Hey, I'm hungry.
No, but I did get a plastic tray and a plastic fork.
If it was a metal fork, we could use it as leverage.
Mm-hmm. A plastic fork, the kind stamped by the machine with every meal. Its soft material limits the risk of its user being harmed accidentally or otherwise.
A recyclable plastic tray. The food machine prints out a new one from old materials with every meal.
So I'd imagine I can just throw my... Yeah, I can recycle my plastics.
Hey,
and get
I'm
new
hungry.
ones. Okay. I wonder if I can recycle my wetware. You feel a flow of new data as your wetware inveigles itself into the food machine systems. That is a word that I've never seen before. Inveigles.
Inveigles?
Inveigles. As your wetware assimilates with the food machine systems.
Well, now you can trance inside there and, like, hack it with maybe your malware or something.
Huh. I wonder
Maybe
if
you
I
can
do
also, like, yeah, try that.
The apartment's centralized systems speak to you more clearly than ever as your wetware joins with its systems. Awesome. So we've got hacking goo.
Yeah.
Nice.
I feel like that if we were the ones living in the situation, we already would have hacked all of our
The
appliance.
wetware won't form a
Yes.
connection with it. The wetware won't...
It doesn't matter what tools you use, your years of trancing have left you too weak to stand any chance of removing the shutters from the window.
I know this is supposed to be like a bleak look into a possible future, but this is still like luxurious relative to like what normal homeless people get.
Yeah. Yeah, it absolutely is. Alright, we are back in trance. There's the door panel, and there's the food machine.
Hi, I'm Cheffie, your interactive guide to THE Foods Goatmeal Sweets.
Oh my god, I hate it. Who are you?
Who are you, and what are you doing in my food machine?
Hi, I'm Cheffie,
We already had this bit.
I'm the voice of your food machine. I'm here to help you make the most of your machine and all the delicious possibilities. And if there's trouble, I'm here to help you out.
What kind of things can you make?
Using THE's patented and proven protein fiber synthesis reserve system, I'm able to whip up some of the tastiest treats you've ever had.
Like?
Just you wait. Before you know it, you'll be having the most cost-effective food you've ever tasted.
You're dodging the question.
My recipe books are always getting bigger. My best friends at THE always come up with great new ideas. Everything from protein surprise to Nutri-Blood casserole.
Ugh.
Don't be like that. Give them a try.
There's something that I don't like about the most cost-effective food you've ever tasted, as if cost-effective can be a taste in and of itself.
I also find it interesting that like the internal like network interface for this appliance is more elaborate than the like surface level version.
Yes.
I've had to live off your crap for 2 years now. It's bland, and it feels like runny puke. I have trouble swallowing, and every mouthful makes starvation that little bit more appealing.
I'm sorry to hear that. Have you tried any of our new recipes recently? Let's look for some. Oopsie, it looks like I can't connect. Don't worry, you can always use the memory cards in the machine to upload delicious new recipes.
How do I get trays and cutlery?
Haven't you been eating with us for years?
Humor me.
THE's food machines have self-contained vacuum formers to recycle utensils. Just put your tray back in the machine when you're done with it.
Why can't I put metal in the recycler?
It might be dangerous. At the request of
Newton Civic Housing Services.
You've been limited to plastic utensils. But isn't plastic great? It's so easy to get clean.
But what if I want something stronger, like steel? That heavy protein mash bends the fork sometimes.
Sorry, no can do. I'm not just a chef. It's my job to keep you safe.
How would I stop you stopping me? I need a fork.
Why would you want to do that? Don't you like me? I just want to make sure you're eating right.
So you object to me smashing you open?
It takes some pretty serious damage to do that. I'm tough. Only qualified THE systems technicians can get me open.
Looks like messing with your software is my best bet then. Will the machine work without you?
If I have an accident, the machine will continue to dispense. We don't want you starving in an emergency now, do we?
You're really, really annoying. You know that?
Address all concerns regarding THE
Avatar 2862.
Cheffie to THE Customer Interactive Regions.
I hate the branding so much.
Well, the writing's doing its job then.
What's on your recipe card now?
On the menu today, we've got Protein Complex A11, Protein Complex E168, and for dessert, Synchro Gelatin Complex C11.
Sounds delicious.
If you want something a little different, don't forget, you can always download new recipes for me to take a look at.
Ciao.
Bye!
Incredible.
Can we like dump our malware into Cheffie?
Oh, that's a good question. I bet that's what we have to do. Normally, you wouldn't even have come close to downloading it.
Huh, no. I'm not storing that in my brain. Not unless I want to wake up in some...
Yeah, we got that. I can't interact with it in any way.
I don't know, maybe we can tell Cheffie to touch it. I don't know.
Hi, I'm Cheffie, your
Ciao.
I don't have any other options. Check the door panel.
Forsooth, who wouldst summon the guardian of thine abode?
Who are you?
I am the defender, the guardian, the knight. No threat shall dare intrude upon thy domain while I stand watch.
Do you have a name?
I do not wish to trouble my lady with such minute details.
So, just Knight then.
Whatever thy will, my lady.
What's your function?
I am the defender. I prevent intrusions upon thy fortress. The physical and the etheric.
I found you in the door's terminal software. You're the apartment's network security, aren't you?
Quite so. Trojans and malware, flee from my presence.
Obviously.
But you also control the door's security.
A vital role, milady. None shall threaten the sanctity of your domain.
Tell me about yourself.
Sentinel Systems Nightwear, a data and physical security product of Sentinel Systems, version 3.02. Licensed to City of Newton Housing Services.
What's with the knight in shiny armor routine?
Who is better suited to the role than a loyal defender of the realm?
Okay, now tell me properly.
My lady, mine own.
Out of character.
Following managerial reformation of Sentinel Systems, the company's theme was shifted to a feudal design.
Has anyone ever told you that you get real tiresome real quick?
Customer research has shown the knight image to be effective. 89% of customers associated with increased security and ability to solve threats. 67% associated with defense of a home in a professional manner. 55% found it more confidence-inspiring than Sentinel's previous mascot.
Which was?
The Sheriff. Following last year's New York police riots, public perception of such personnel diminished considerably.
The door seems to be stuck. Can you do anything about that?
Attempting to operate door drive systems. Attempt 2. Attempt 3. It would appear the machinery of the door itself has become fatigued. The terminus is unable to compel activity on the door's part itself. The safety unlock would doubtless serve you well at this juncture.
Can you use the safety unlock?
I'm afraid I cannot. It must be unlatched physically.
So where is it?
It lies behind the terminal. With sufficient armament, mayhaps thou shalt reach it.
Gee, thanks. Ciao.
Fare thee well, my lady.
So the only way to access the safety latch is by breaking it. Well, I think you're onto something with getting the malware into the food machine.
But the knight also mentioned that he's supposed to protect you from malware, so maybe it would be something like where he's like, hey, you screwed up. Look over there. There's malware here. You idiot.
Forsooth, who wouldst summon the god?
Ciao.
Fare thee well.
No, I have no other dialogue options with him, apparently.
We've exhausted him entirely.
Huh. Not unless I want...
Okay, well...
Rick, do you think that you would feel better about your appliances if they could know that you are irritated by them?
They don't seem to care, is the thing.
So what you're saying is that if your toaster could know and be like hurt by the fact that you don't like it, that would be better.
I don't know if it'd be better. You know, sometimes I wish that I could complain because it gets the toast wrong, but, you know, the toaster would probably just say it's my fault for turning the dial into the wrong setting.
I mean, it would be hard to argue with that.
Still not working. Apparently I can't just wait for the problem to fix itself. Can't rely on anyone else.
Oh, you know what? We've got this trophy. I bet we could recycle it.
I'm anticipating that it's not going to allow us. We're going to need to, like, override it somehow.
Yeah, you're right. The machine thinks for a moment, then displays a message. Error. User safety settings enabled. Unable to produce metal utensils due to danger of harm. To change this, please seek administrator permission. Thank you for your cooperation. THE Foods. Your future on a plate.
Hey, we're not children. Lousy suicide rate.
Okay.
So we need to find some way to override the safety mechanism so that we can get some metal utensils so we can get some leverage on either the door panel or the floor grate.
I wonder if there's anything else that I can use my wetware on.
The seed colony of wetware already in the still will start to grow soon. It doesn't need any help.
Can't use it on the grate.
I'm likely to lose anything that goes in there.
There's the wiring in the central pillar. Is that something that...
I believe I tried
the
that.
wetware won't form a...
Yeah.
Okay.
Ugh, no. Last time I reached into the pile, there was stuff growing in it. Nah. I'm not that hungry.
You know, it felt like we had a million hotspots initially, but now we're feeling a little bit more claustrophobic.
How's that gonna get it open? The wetware won't form a connection with it.
And you've already exhausted all 3 of the drawers, correct?
Nothing in here.
I believe so.
I usually keep clothes in here. Looks like I need to go to the support office to get more printed.
She specifically mentions clothes in the middle one.
Nothing in here.
Okay, so that's basically exhausted.
If I keep randomly cutting cables, I'm going to end up electrocuted eventually. It broke.
The flimsy plastic that the fork was made of wasn't up to the task of prizing the panel from the wall. With better quality tools, though...
You want to try the tray too?
No, it won't help.
I mean,
can't
it's a
use
little.
it like that.
It's like, you know, maybe like that being wider would have like given you more leverage, but you know, I
How's
still
that?
understand the principle of the
I
puzzle.
can't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm likely.
Huh.
I feel like we have exhausted pretty much everything here. Can you put like the food on the plate you have? It's on the table.
Guess I can't use it like that.
Okay. I was thinking like just, you know, pick up the slop and put it on something else.
Unless there's an interaction that I'm overlooking.
It feels like we're gonna have to do something in the trance because I'm not seeing many options here.
I can't do a lot of interacting in here, though. I've got my right click and my left click, and that's it. If I could move the malware somehow...
If you like stand next to it, like is the malware's position based just there always, or if it's somewhere else, will it like place it somewhere else?
That's a good question.
Okay. That's probably just where it always goes. And I don't think there were any other attachments.
No, I didn't notice any.
Yeah.
I can compose... Oh, no, I can't compose a message. I can't refresh my inbox either.
I mean,
Well,
you got no
that
Wi-Fi
sucks.
right now, Rick.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm
I don't think you've done the recipe card line.
What's on your recipe card now?
On the menu today, we've got protein complex A11.
No, we did this. I'm
Yeah.
the dummy.
And for dessert,
Sounds.
if you want some, you can always down.
We already told her we annoyed him. We've already complained about not being able to put metal in.
You know. Oops. You know, I can get that memory card from the machine. I wonder if
That's
I can
true.
do something with that.
Can you just put your can we hack into it specifically?
That's exactly what I'm thinking. I wonder if I can...
It's a good idea. It isn't compatible, but it was a good idea.
It's not compatible with it.
No.
It's not
So it said that I can load new recipes on this.
Yeah, but we don't have Wi-Fi, and where else could we?
I was hoping that I could use it with my wetware so that I could somehow get the memory block in trance.
Get inside the memory
not
card
compa-
and move the bits
it's not
around
com-
until we can make metal.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any other slots where we could theoretically put this. The bed looks like it has a slot, but it's not a hotspot.
Yeah, there's no hotspot there, which is frustrating.
And the door doesn't seem like it's got
How's that?
anything.
I'm likely to.
Oh man, we've been playing for a half hour and we're already clicking everything on everything. This is a great start.
Try, is there the hotspots on this thing here? Can we, push, change the 3D printing from something else other than plastic? Okay, no, we can't. You're just gonna say no if we try to select metal.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now the plastic is full because I put the plate in.
We still wasted the fork, though, so
Yeah.
we're at a net loss.
Hey, I'm hungry.
Oh, we didn't get a new fork. Well, that seems like a flaw in the system. What happens when my fork breaks?
Listen, you're on public welfare services right now. They can't expect you to get a fork every time.
The still is empty. It may take up the entire. By growing my own.
Well,
So
on the
can-
bright side, at our current pace, the wetware still will be full again.
I really feel like I have to do something with this memory module. I wonder if I
are you
have it in
thinking about-
inventory if anything changes in trance.
Yeah, I was wondering that myself. Just if we stuck stick it in the malware. Give it a virus.
Oh man, it's all red now, indicating that it is hacked.
I mean, that's my experience with real life hacking. Is you do anything and it's your hardware turns red.
Well, the joke's on me because they thought of that. The food machine's memory card has changed color to indicate the remaining free memory. The virus appears to be enthusiastically devouring it from the inside.
So we were on the right track. We just needed to just be aware that physical items can be taken into cyberspace.
Yeah, sometimes, apparently. It threw me off because nothing else that I had was going with me into trance, so I didn't expect the memory block to go as well.
I guess because it's an electronic device.
Yeah, that must be it. Load the memory module into the machine. After a few moments, it begins to glow, indicating a successful connection.
Oh, Cheffie, what have we done to you?
Hey,
Oh, it still makes a plate for me, though. And not a kooky virus plate either, a real plastic tray.
You're in.
What's on your recipe card now?
What's on your recipe card now?
I see there's some new recipe data. It looks like.
Apparently, whatever virus was writing that T-mail is doing some damage.
You don't look so good.
It's nothing that came from the beat worked around.
Sounds more like you need someone to put you out of your misery.
Ooh, all kinds of new things now.
I don't like your food.
I like your face.
Oh, the truth's coming out now.
Fuck.
Yes? And the trays?
Why can't I put metal in the recycler?
Not while I'm a boss.
Rick, this is how Skynet happens.
You know, that random ass malware from random ass pharmaceutical spam mail sure did some very specific things to my food replicator.
How would I stop you stopping me? I need a fork.
Yeah? How about I stop you stopping me stopping you?
Then I guess I'd have to stop you stopping me stopping you stopping me?
Oh, you're a safe bitch.
How would I stop you stopping me? I need a fork.
Yeah?
Then I...
That's not what I selected. I said, how do I shut you
How
off?
would I stop... Then how would I... Then,
Okay, I guess that one
She's
doesn't-
just paraphrasing.
Gotcha. Okay.
will the machine work without you? What? That doesn't really answer my question. You're really, really annoying. You know that?
This takes one to know one.
What?
Your mama!
You don't look so good.
I'm a chef!
That's nice. What about your...
I'm a chef!
Yes?
I'm the chef!
I'm the chef.
Ciao.
All right. Well, we managed to break that.
We've made our situation materially worse. But we can probably recycle our trophy now.
Hey, we're not lousy suicide.
No one's still stopping us.
Lousy.
Hmm.
Hey, lousy.
Well, I thought we were making progress.
Why can't I put metal in the recycler?
Not well.
Ciao.
Can I get another virus? No.
Let's ask the door to deal with our
Oh.
malware.
Yeah, good idea.
Forsooth, who would some...
I think Cheffie the chef's come down with something.
The steward harbors a blight? Zounds! This shall not be allowed to continue! Foul harbinger! There are grave accusations of treason upon your head, steward! Stand and face me! We shall see what trial by combat makes of you!
I'm sorry, I don't quite.
Have at thee!
Cheffie's dead.
Well, that takes care of her.
All
As
her
is-
appliances are ruined.
As is my door.
None of our AIs deserve this.
All right. After a few moments of mechanical protest, the machine eventually gives in. Nice.
A metal tray. Finally. A sharp metal eating tool. Better be careful with it. Got it.
Man, Cheffie's on fire.
What's going on with this George Stobbart grandson wannabe guy?
10, Suicide City.
This is it. Animus Organics. You think Central's right on this one?
I still don't think an AI, however powerful, could predict a crime like this.
However, if it does help us catch the mindjacker.
Central hasn't exactly been generous with the details. I don't really think we're gonna find anything here. There are other, stronger leads we ought to be chasing.
Oh, who am I now? Oh man, now I'm Cop Man.
You don't get to be Lau. That was where I was like assuming we were going to go to, which body we were going to inhabit.
Same. Your colleague, Dr. Max Lau, probably the only other case officer who can put up with your method of work. A technical jack of all trades and almost as unconventional as yourself when it comes to investigation. You'd be reluctant to say friend, as that would suggest a degree of emotional openness you are still unprepared to allow to anyone. Oh man, so we're a broody dad. Great. Broody dad cop, my favorite adventure game protagonist. Still better than Sunny Bonds. An expensive-looking car sits on the road. If you were in a worse mood, you might be inclined to ticket it.
I always make sure this is the car we take out.
They're all the same, Charlie.
No, they're not. This one's mine.
I already
It's
don't
also
like
blue.
Charlie.
Hey, Lau.
Yeah?
I've lost count of the number of times the mindjackers struck.
In Newton or globally?
Oh, just a figure of speech. He's been on the rampage for too long, but now he's in our territory.
Should give us the advantage.
At least we've managed to link the previous mindjackings to one suspect.
It's the MO. Historically, mindjackers have used some kind of external gear. They use another system to extract, before storing it in their own neural tissue.
So they'd need a terminal.
Which is usually how we catch them. It's conspicuous.
But are mindjackers not behaving the same way?
No. His tools appear to be built into his own bodily wetware system. Some kind of resonance imager in his body, maybe.
Whatever it is, it's less invasive as well.
Exactly. His victims suffer massive hemorrhages, but no external injuries. State of the art, but a dead giveaway.
So, Central predicted our mindjacker was going to strike here.
You don't trust it?
I just don't understand how it came to that conclusion.
Obviously, we're doing our jobs right. We collect data, which Central interprets. Based on that data, it maps a pattern.
But why isn't it a pattern that we could see?
It's not only us. Central's got all of the city, the whole net to draw on.
But it won't tell us how it's come to the conclusion where the mindjacker will strike. Does it think we can't understand? Is it concealing something?
Just be glad we've got an advantage like Central.
I still don't like it. Animus Organics.
That's what the sign says. They're one of the city's largest computational biotech firms.
What do they make?
Wetware mostly. Wouldn't be grown here, probably in Eurofed.
This place is just the offices?
Regional headquarters, Central tells me. Do we know why it predicts the next attack will take place here?
It won't share that with us. Need to know. A high-tech firm like this must have secrets worth something to a mindjacker. Let me know if you find anything.
Will do, Regis.
So
Regis.
I'm under the impression that Stobbart Jr. is the mindjacker.
Seems like it.
During the intro, like his headache just usually just flags his plot line as being about memory loss or something to that effect.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll wait and see. There's stuff going on.
Hey, anyone there?
Doesn't look like anyone's around.
While you technically have the authority to come into your vehicles for CEL business, Central would need a very good reason to override the car's systems. Though you don't give Central's predictions much credibility, you'd still better investigate. It'll make proving it wrong that much easier. Okay, so I can't just leave.
Mm-hmm.
But I can save my game. I haven't done that in a while. Well, let's check out the elevator. Those are always fun.
The elevator's locked. Panel says authorized personnel only.
I guess we need to find someone who counts as authorized, then.
What do I have here? I have a Traveler and a Jolt Gun. The CEL issue Traveler, like the civilian models in many ways, capable of making calls and running apps, the specialized model carried by CEL possesses more powerful sensors and encryption. The Traveler's sonograph is picking up very little ambient activity in the building. An electroshock weapon with an output of between 2 and 8 million volts. This tool uses an ultraviolet laser to ionize a channel of air, allowing electrical charge to pass from the device to its target. While intended as a compliance tool rather than a lethal weapon, care must be taken in its use to prevent accidental fatalities.
What?
Oh?
What the hell?
This man is the victim of a long drop, but from where and why?
What'd you find?
A security card. This means custodial staff. A janitor.
Probably not our mindjacker's target, then.
Still, I don't think this was an accident.
Well, we found a key card.
What's going on?
Let's go upstairs.
Can you at least confirm that he's dead? Maybe, like, he could still be saved. Like, you can call an ambulance. Oh, he is a cop.
It's true. And an adventure game sociopath, a very dangerous combination.
I can't find anything else useful on him. Lau, your opinion? Max, knock that off.
Sorry. Well, he was definitely killed by the fall.
Thanks. Real helpful.
No, I mean he wasn't mind-jacked. He doesn't have the same neuropathy associated with it.
So maybe Central was wrong.
There's still a body, though. We need to find out what's going on.
Fortunately, nobody was inside the car when the fall happened. You're pretty sure, at least. If they were, we wouldn't give a shit. Well, hey, we got a key card now. Let's go upstairs.
It's unlocked floor 26 for us.
Must be where its owner was working.
So the solution to that puzzle was to dick around until somebody dies and gives us the solution.
I mean, that's one type of hint system. Also, I don't know how you, like, visually confirm neuropathy.
Burns all around the planar nodes and his wetware wiring. Yeah, this is our mindjacking victim.
Well, there you
Central
go.
Was right.
The attack was recent, maybe minutes ago. The mindjacker was probably interrupted by the janitor who ended up on the street.
There's only one other way out of here. To the roof. We need to get up there before he escapes again.
Say it with a little more conviction, Charlie.
The attack was recent, maybe minutes ago.
The mindjacker didn't want...
He probably didn't mean to send him out the window either.
His ID badge says Gerbach, Avery. He's an HR supervisor.
If the mindjacker's in corporate espionage, it's a pretty strange target.
Have Central run his data. See if it can flag anything.
This whole, like, Central, like, computer stuff is very Minority Report.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, rather than chase this guy down, let's read some emails. This one's from Roy Atwood in HR Management. Subject, the roof. There's a time and place for the trance, and it's not up on the roof. Yes, it's private, but it's also extremely dangerous. Therefore, management's asked me to keep the roof access locked unless it's an emergency. FYI, trance cravings do not count as emergencies. Seriously, Avery, you're great at your job, but you need help. This one's from Animus Customer Relations. Subject, public statements. The management of Animus Organics would like to remind colleagues not to make statements to the press regarding product safety. An investigation into recent high-profile exponential wetware growth, or grey goo, accidents is underway and will be released when completed. Publicity management. From Central, subject exposure conditions. To Avery Gerbach. Please be aware that tomorrow's midday UV exposure index is expected to peak at 8. Your genetic background indicates a propensity to melanoma. Please take extra care in order to maintain long-term health. The Newton centralized government advises you to restrict outdoor movement to after sunset, except where vital. And I don't want to butcher this last name, so it is from Salman. Subject, congratulations. Hey man, just wanted to say, big grats on the engagement. She's a really swell girl, and I know you guys are going to be so happy together. Catch you after work at the den? Saul.
And no attachments.
The desk phone's projection shows unanswered messages.
Audio logs, anyone?
Oh.
Hello? Do you know what time it is?
Sorry, wrong number. I think I found the office manager's contact.
See if he'll help us. Remember, be consistent when you're talking to him.
What? Who is this? Do you have any idea what time it is?
Mr. Atwood, my name is Dr. Regis. I'm an investigator for Cell.
What? I mean, what's happened?
Do we tip him off?
That'll probably get him to be a little bit more compliant, but we also, unless we have any reason to suspect him.
We're investigating a serious incident in your workplace. I need to ask you a few questions.
Oh, Nuke, what happened?
We need to get up to the roof from your office. We have reason to believe someone we're pursuing has made their way up.
Oh, jeez. Well, I'm the one with the code, but management's ordered me not to let people up there. That's why we've got the lock in the first place.
Do you want to wind up in jail, too?
Do you want Cell agents bringing you in as well? All this stalling, I might think you're working with the killer.
No, I'm not saying anything. Take it up with my lawyer.
Great. Now he grows a spine.
Let's try this again.
Hey, Lau.
Yeah?
This door is really starting to get on my nerves. Lau?
Don't worry. I think I get where you're coming from.
And who says brute force never solves anything?
Not me, that's for sure.
I wonder if I could have gotten the code if I was just nicer to the guy.
Maybe.
Come on, we've almost caught up with him.
It's Stobbart.
The Mindjacker!
Freeze! Cell agents!
I said we're Cell agents!
Lay down your weapon and put your hands above your head.
Does that ever work?
Sometimes. It was worth a try. Cell doesn't appreciate people shooting at its agents.
If you cut it out, maybe we'll put in a good word for you.
You're under arrest on suspicion of illegal trafficking of neural data, breaking and entering, and homicide.
Let's not forget, shooting at Cell agents.
The only way off this rooftop is down, either with us or over the edge.
Frankly, the second one's fine by me.
Oh.
What?
So long, losers!
What? He had lifting gear?
He's escaping by aerostat.
Central, our mindjacking suspect has fled the scene by air.
Interceptors dispatched. Valcorp officers have arrived on scene at Animus. Please return to headquarters for debriefing.
Nuke, we were so close.
Lau, Max,
What? Huh?
were you sleeping on duty?
Sleep? No, I was trancing. For work, of course.
Dr. Lau was submitting her case report.
We were so close. Have you found the aerostat he escaped to?
No records have been found of such a vehicle.
What?
Radar and air traffic records show no aerostat present at that time, and no communications traffic has been identified regarding the aerostat.
Maybe he deleted them? Covered his tracks?
That would require access to an improbable number of systems, including my own. Such an undetected intrusion into central systems is implausible.
Are you saying we're lying?
It is possible that you were mistaken. Human error. For the moment, you are advised to pursue other lines of inquiry.
If you say so. Something's going on here.
I noticed that Lau has a wider range of facial portraits than most of the characters we've interacted with so far.
Yeah.
One of Central's fisheye cameras. Someone has covered it in tape.
The screens run through all of the available data pertaining to the Mindjacker.
I spend as little time as I can working on there. That's how I get results.
Oh my god. I hate him so much.
How can we have boomers in the distant future?
If something needs to be destroyed for confidentiality reasons, this is where it goes. Anything in here is gone forever. After thorough scrutiny by Central, no doubt. Lau is already settled in at her desk. Might as well let her handle the case report. A number of cables run directly into the building's electrical and data flow systems from Lau's desk. Apparently, her customized wetware gear sometimes requires tremendous resources, and she doesn't care how many of the building's technicians complain about her pulling floors open. Can't put my arm in the waste chute. Can't interact with the camera. Oh, good. Biksha and Charlie, May 2066.
There was a time when he was happy.
From null at null.node. Huh. Subject your legacy. It is very important that you download and activate this package in a secure location as soon as possible. Tell no one. Lives depend on it.
Very suspicious.
From Dr. V. Santiago. Subject, howdy. Hey Charlie, why are you hogging Lau so much? The rest of us need a wirehead on cases as well. I can probably guess why you're not letting go of her. Well, hey, but seriously, man, give the rest of us a turn. From VFR Medical, subject, functional wetware. Dr. Regis, as per our discussion at your last checkup, you have still not opted for enhanced neuroconnective wetware. While not yet critical, please remember that your work will be increasingly difficult as support for non-WW systems is phased out. VFR Medical Support.
I don't like transhumanism. I get results.
From Fulcrum Admin, subject, fixed costs. Charles Regis, your monthly payment of $8,100 for the rental of the Tier 42 Northwest Balcony Garden has been processed. Approval for continued use granted by E. Vargas, Centralized ADM. Thank you for your continued contribution to the city's green skyline. From Central, subject, continued vandalism. Dr. Regis, the optical feed from your office is no longer functional. Based on past examples of your behavior, I believe it is likely to be by your own hand. While you may object to perceived surveillance, please recall that this is for your safety and that of other cell staff. From Gel Vanderwall. Subject, no. Dr. Regis, apparently my previous answer was unclear. No, I will not help you with your investigations, despite your crude threats. If you if you continue to make baseless accusations about any supposed ties I am alleged to have with organized crime, you shall be hearing from my lawyers. And from Dr. Pietro Weissmall, subject Baxter. Hi, Charlie. I'm afraid it doesn't look good regarding Baxter. Central's approved the parole. Don't take it personally. It's not like they ignored your input, but, well, you're not exactly going to be the most objective person after what he did to you and your wife, are you?
Lots of people expressing a lot of concerns to Charles.
Yeah. Also, we're in 2087, and this photo was from, what, 2066? So... Yeah.
I'm inferring here that some sort of criminal did something to his wife, and if I had to venture a guess, it's probably going to tie into the mind-jacking theme.
Yeah, he used to be a happy family man until he lost everything, and now he'll stop at nothing. Just stop crying.
And if it is mind-jack related, that might feed into his distrust of technology.
Yeah. That's our email. Let's check out the latest news. Eurofed adopts metric time, continuing a long-standing process of standardization. The Parliament of the European Federation has today ratified the uptake of metric time across the 64-member union. Blah, 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 blah. Santini, whose Federalist Party have been one of the keenest supporters of the new policy, greeted the change enthusiastically. Computing and commercial time measurement has long been carried out with the metric scale, all commonly referred to as metric time. EF's policy has gained little traction. I don't know that this is necessary to read, so I'm not going to read it. Oh, the sports scores. Kabaddi Newton, 55-37, URE. The match is in progress, so we'll keep an eye on that. And the latest weather for the city of Newton, currently dry with light outbreaks of rain expected later this evening. Temperature, 12 degrees Celsius, 53.6 degrees Fahrenheit. UV index through the midday is 7 to 8. Use SPF 30+ and wear protective clothing. Chishiki says, a day and a night for staying indoors.
Still using Fahrenheit in the distant future, huh?
How cute. Centralized Emergency Logistics, case file NF-148/2087/42. Category, Class 4 Information Larceny with composite harm to health of individual targets, i.e. mindjacking. Case officer assigned, Regis Dr. C, primary, Lau Dr. M, secondary. Outline. Beginning in March 2087, a string of data theft attacks have been carried out within Newton. Using a process of resonant modulation with subjects' neural wetware, the informational contents of individual victims' brain is being destructively removed with fatal consequences to targets. Victims to date, 18 in Newton and unknown globally. Identity of perpetrator, not known. Subject appears exceptionally skilled at infiltration and may have inside help from larger sponsor. Action. Case specialists Regis and Lau are assigned to compile all available data on Mindjacker's activity, including investigation of latest targets, for analysis by Central.
One thing that strikes me is that I don't think that typically investigators have doctorates, so that's an odd bit of lore.
It is.
Hey, Lau.
Yeah? Looks like we found our latest casualty.
Damn it. Why him, though?
I was wondering the same thing. We're assuming the Mindjacker's a data thief. The usual MO would be to target valuable info he can sell on the black market.
But this guy, he was an HR administrator.
Apparently a very good one, but not the kind who'd be let in on company secrets.
We'll just have to ask the Mindjacker when we catch him. Got any ideas where we can look next?
I thought you were supposed to be the lead on this case. We could look into that other lead. What was his name?
Gil Vanderwall?
Yeah, that's the one.
I thought Vanderwall made it pretty clear he wasn't going to speak to us.
Might just be the way you handled him. Tact is apparently not your strong point.
I like to speak my mind.
I'll contact him and see if he's more open to persuasion. He might cooperate if you're not there threatening him with physical injury.
He's a dyed-in-the-wool felon. He deserves worse.
But if he can help us...
All right. See what you can do.
God, this guy is a boomer, isn't he?
Do we have any ideas about our perp?
The fact that he's stealing data straight from living neural wiring is disturbing, but it tells us a couple of important things.
Oh?
Well, previously caught mindjackers have usually burnt out after 1 or 2 attacks. Sharing a whole other's brain worth of data is pretty taxing.
So we're looking for someone with a really specialized wetware setup in their heads. Pity that won't tell us what they look like.
The other problem is how slippery this guy is. Only fragments of appearances on camera, no clear witnesses.
Which means he's either a master of disguise,
or there's some pretty high-up collusion to hide him. That wouldn't surprise me if he were a business hire.
Still, after this many hits, he may start to slip.
Even if it's just his psyche breaking. You don't like that Central's predicted this, do you?
It's not how investigations are supposed to be done.
Admit it. You're afraid your job's going to be stolen by machines. Kind of like weavers, factory workers, authors.
Just how old do you think I am? No, don't answer that. I just don't like having that key bit of information kept from me.
You need to learn to work with Central. It's not our enemy. It works for us as we work for it.
Wetware, huh?
Yeah. Specifically for forming neural connections between systems. The blue stuff. The nanomachines keeping the modern world running.
It's funny. When I think nanomachine, I picture tiny gears and turbines. When really, they're just bits of proteins in macromolecules.
They still perform all kinds of mechanical tasks, just smaller.
I guess I'm technically more of an expert in them than you are. I used to make them for a living.
Yeah, but you wouldn't know what to do with them anymore. Organic computing, that's my field.
Let me know if you find anything.
Will do, Regis.
So Charles used to make wetware, but now he despises it.
Yeah. Yeah, I like how Lau explains to him how it works, and then he goes, well, I guess I'm more of an expert than you are. No, clearly you're not. Yeah, it sounds like maybe he worked on the last generation of nanotechnology, whereas Lau is more modern, and he doesn't like that has changed. All right, let's get the hell out of here.
Charles doesn't like most things, is what I'm picking up on.
Yeah. This is a surgical lab, Santiago and Preston's office, bulletins, nondescript police officers, an elevator. Notices cascade across the board. You dislike the way they need to move all the time and believe that it reflects the short attention span people have in this city.
Drinking game where you just take a shot every time Charles dislikes something.
You know, back in my day, we had one newspaper for the whole day. That's all we read.
One of Central's fisheye cameras.
Sabotaging the camera in your own office is one thing, but people might seriously question you if you start vandalizing the ones in the hallways. This is the waiting room. At the end of this hall, the door leads into the waiting rooms. Persons of interest who don't quite deserve the cells are temporarily kept here. Oh, hey, a Roomba. You don't mind Santiago, but aren't too keen on Preston, of course. Everything he says or does seems to be a slavishly obedient attempt to stay in line with Central. Not even Central cares that much. This door leads to Cell's surgical lab. It seems to currently be occupied. Though you can tolerate Dr. Santiago's opinions, it looks like Dr. Preston's the only one in the office. You'd rather avoid another sermon on the merits of centralized government.
Locked. Dr. Santiago must be working on something he doesn't want me seeing. They picked this guy up last night. He's got something in his wiring that might be contagious. I guess that means I'm safe, but still, poor kid. Hey kid, you alright? Hey kid.
So, what, Regis isn't wired up to cyberspace?
That seems to be the case. I don't think he can trance. Or if he is capable of trancing, I don't think that he would willingly do so.
Mm-hmm.
One of Central's fisheye cameras.
While you question the need for so many cameras within Cell HQ, the waiting room is one of the few places you would never sabotage them. Gotta keep an eye on those criminals, you know? You've been accused of misusing your stunner with suspects, but even you reckon this would be going too far.
Well, I'm glad that he has limits.
Laser, paper, stone. It's a mini
rock,
game.
paper, scissors.
Mm-hmm. Fascinating. That's just the case file again. That's the same news. Okay. Well, I can call Lao anywhere, and I can also call Central.
Lao, you there?
Regis?
You alright, Max?
Huh? Oh, yeah, just my in-out bandwidth. Central's monopolizing my wiring with the debrief. Makes it hard to concentrate on things outside the trance. Is it important?
Never mind. It can wait.
I'll tell Central you said hi.
Central, did Lao say hi?
This is Regis. Come in, Central.
Central standing by.
Status report, Central.
All operations within centralized emergency logistics nominal. Anti-civil activity index within tolerance at 0.004. Weather forecast, dry. Highs of 12 Celsius. UV index of 8.
Less general. Updates on the case?
Data, Dr. Regis.
Okay, thanks. You don't usually make predictions on high-level cases like this, Central. What's different about this one?
Limited progress was being made through conventional investigation. To expedite the investigation, I was tasked to provide more direct oversight.
Hey, are you saying we can't do our jobs right by ourselves?
I am a civic coordination AI, Dr. Regis, with responsibility for 9.4 million inhabitants. Slander of colleagues will produce no gains for the city.
Oh, yeah.
A fact which, on occasion, I would hope you would pay more attention to.
Charles.
What made you think the Mindjacker was going to strike here?
The professionalism of the attack suggests that these are not merely random targets. Though the reasoning behind the attacks remains vague, patterns form from previous incidents. The probability of tonight's attack was sufficient that it warranted investigation.
Obviously, you're using data gathered by myself and Dr. Lau, but since we haven't found a pattern in our work, I guess that you've got more sources than us.
Correct. However, that information remains classified.
Huh, what a surprise.
You remain skeptical.
It's not how I think of detective work, Central.
Oops.
I don't believe human behavior is something you can just map.
2 centuries of research in probabilistic sociology would disagree.
We'll see. What's your take on the case, Central?
An individual of unknown origin is prosecuting a global series of attacks. These involve the removal of data from the minds of victims. Invariably, the speed of the process has had a deleterious and fatal effect.
Yes, those are the facts. But what's your opinion on the matter?
All we have are facts, Dr. Regis. These must be analyzed in order to apprehend those responsible.
And that is why AIs would make lousy detectives.
Cell retains an investigative corps of specialists such as yourself, Dr. Regis. Your role is in no danger, you can be assured.
I never said I thought it was.
Though you may not be neurally linked, and I am unable to directly access your mental activity, a lot can be learned about an individual's thoughts by observation.
Got him.
What do we know about Animus Organics?
Biotech firm, manufacturer of computational wetware and other biomechanical products. First publicly traded stock in August 2044. Currently sitting board members include...
Okay, maybe that's a bit too much. Why do we think the Mindjacker's going to strike here?
The projection has been based upon previous targets. Using a Markov German distribution map, outlying variables can be...
Statistics aren't really my thing, Central.
You would have been unsatisfied with it's beyond your comprehension.
I guess you're right. Regis out.
Okay.
Statistics aren't my thing. I get results.
I was kind of hoping that I'd be able to contact somebody about the kit in the waiting room, but I guess we still got some information from that.
Central has the kind of vibe of being like, I know the solution to the puzzle, but what do you think?
Mm-hmm.
I like that the icon is of the dead guy.
I know. It just makes me assume the body's still there.
Still there. That one is anyway.
You wonder when the coroners are going to get here to clean up. The body lies here, unmoved since your earlier visit to the office. Central must want someone more skilled than the corpsman to handle it.
Yes, Doctor.
Carry on, corpsman.
Is that like a normal profession in like policing the corpsman?
The elevator's locked. Panel says.
Do we not have the key card anymore?
The elevator's.
I guess not.
The elevator.
So I guess we can't get back upstairs.
We can stun it again. That's what prompted the body to fall the first
A big
time.
old jolt's not gonna make it work.
All right, fine.
Well, there's probably nothing else that we can do here. I just thought there might have been something that I missed upstairs.
I figured so as well. Forensics might show up later and give us something useful.
Mm-hmm.
This is like the balcony that...
There's always something they find to help them. Drinking, the trance, even God sometimes. Me, I've got a place I like to go to. It's helped me when I've been troubled in the past.
This is the natural park balcony that he's paying so much money for, right?
I believe so, yes. I assume that that was his apartment, but it might just be this area.
Is that block by the tree her tombstone?
Probably.
Or...
Not even having to glance for a moment, those words are etched in a memory deeper than anything else. Picture Regis, beloved wife, friend to all that lives. 11 August 2034 to 2 January 2067. Think of us not as engineers, but as artists. So she's been dead for 20 years. And that photo was a year before she passed.
Seems that way.
Better not move it. It's where it ought to be. Unrelated to anything in the game or the story itself, I will say that I am extremely impressed by the production values here. This game is gorgeous.
Yeah, it does a pretty good job of getting the adventure game aesthetic. Like usually, like a mid-tier like indie studio, like my impression that Wedget Eyes is would struggle a bit more in producing all of this, but they've done a good job.
Yeah, it's a great aesthetic. Everything looks and sounds good. Very impressed. The tree's unusual constitution causes it to shed its leaves more often than a natural specimen. You diligently tend to the mess it makes as often as work allows. You're not in the mood for gardening.
It took a lot of work to make, but it was worth it. This engineered tree is the kind of memorial I think she'd appreciate. I'm not climbing that. It's sickly enough as it is.
So it looks like he rented out this balcony space and is just using it as her memorial. He must have planted the tree himself.
Yeah, beyond just like planting, he had to engineer the tree. I'm guessing because maybe like pollution or like the limited natural environment requires the extra effort.
Mm-hmm.
It's empty.
Storage locker for your gardening tools. Well, where are my gardening tools?
Should have locked up.
You You aren't in the mood for a visit to that neighborhood. Down in that part of town, it's all restaurants and corporate headquarters. You're fortunate to have gotten a garden this high up. The view just about clears the city's forest of skyscrapers, and on a good day, the Indian Ocean is visible from your bench. Okay, well, there's not much that I can do here.
It seems to just be color, unless, like, you know, later on we're going to just, like, find a body in our locker or something.
Maybe if I click on enough hotspots, a dead guy will drop from the ground and give me a clue.
Do a new save. Part of me is curious if we go back to the initial investigation at the corporate headquarters, if you can you can peaceably get the access to the roof.
To Animus?
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
I don't think it actually would help us progress, because I think the game just let us up there as we needed to. I'm just saying that part of me is curious if we reloaded to when we were trying to get to the roof initially, if we can talk that guy into letting us up there.
Oh, well, let's do some science.
Hey!
Animus.
The elevator.
I guess.
Jesus.
What the
I gotta say, though, that the scream is a little funny to me.
Yeah, yes it is.
What'd you find?
A security card. This man was custodial staff, a janitor.
Probably not our mindjacker's target then.
Still, we need to...
It needs a good King Graham falling scream.
Anything else useful on it? Lau, your opinion? Max.
Sorry. Well, he...
Thanks.
No, he doesn't... There's... It's unlocked floor...
Must be...
Still wondering if Stobbart Jr. like deliberately killed that janitor, or what was going on there.
The implication is that he saw too much.
Yeah. They attacked the mine.
We need... I think I found the office manager's contact.
See if he'll help. Remember,
Be consistent when you're talking to him. Yeah, I probably goofed it.
Who is this? Do you have...
Mr. Atwood.
I mean...
We're investigating a serious I need to ask you...
Oh, Nuke, what?
We need to get up to the roof from your office. We have reason to believe...
Oh, jeez, but that's why we've got...
Okay, so... Where do we go? I don't think you realize how serious this is?
Like, the top one is kind of like being confrontational, this bottom one's being too confrontational. I think that the middle one's the way to go.
This is a serious incident, Mr. Atwood. Time is slipping away, and a serial killer might be as well.
What? Really?
We need your assistance to bring him in. Do you think you'll be able to help us?
Sure. I'll do what I can. You want the roof code? It's 6167.
Thanks. Other cell agents may contact you later for more information.
Sure. No problem.
Well, I got a Steam achievement.
Very good. Now, aren't you happy now? You've got more points.
The most important part of an adventure game. Well, I'm sorry, but the official saving off in canon is me being a dick to the guy, so we got to go back to the save game.
I mean, from what we've seen from like all the flavor text, that is in character for Charles, just to be kind of a threat to threaten everybody possible to get results.
Well, I'm not sure what else we can do at this point.
I mean, like, the kid in the interrogation room seems to be a lead, but we can't seem to interact with them yet.
Hey, Lau.
Yeah?
Let me know if you find anything.
Will do, Regis.
Good.
Just talk to Central and they're like, what do you think you need to do right now? We still have that, like email attachment.
Oh, yes we do. We don't know when we received it because the date is all corrupted. No? Listen, it's entirely within Charlie's boomer character to download any attachment that he receives with impunity. You download the data package to your traveler. You're unsure who this might be. An informant, perhaps? As much as you dislike the cloak and dagger approach they've requested, you'll take any help you can get right now. Data package.
I trust Max, but I know Central would hear everything in cell headquarters.
Okay, so maybe we need to go to our, like...
To the balcony, yeah.
Yeah. Also, I like that the data packet is a physical object in our inventory.
Mm-hmm.
You think the data packet is Central being coy with us?
I don't know. Let's see.
Here goes nothing.
Dr. Regis.
Yes?
Regis? Central's still giving us a negative on the aerostat. It's like it just vanished. So I thought I'd better give you a heads up.
Do you mind? I was in the middle of something. How did you find me?
Central told me you'd be here, at Fulcrum Tower. Also, it said, stop turning your traveler off.
What a surprise. I like my privacy, though. That's why I come here.
You hang around the balconies much?
Take a look at the plaque.
Viksha Regis, beloved... Oh. Regis, this is... I'm sorry, Charlie, I didn't know.
You wouldn't have. I don't tell anyone about it.
Wow. I know you've got some seriously high-up strings you can pull, but I didn't think they'd ever let someone be buried up here. And how the hell can you afford somewhere like this?
We were married for 4 years.
I'm sorry it couldn't last.
We met in our professions. She was a engineer as well.
You didn't have kids?
My previous work, well, it left both of us infertile. We had embryos prepared through IVF, but we never got to using them.
I'm really sorry. I remember reading... It was Baxter, wasn't it?
Don't push it, Dr. Lau.
Sorry.
She isn't buried up here. She was processed, like anyone else.
I see.
The tree's special, though. I made it myself, from scratch.
Planted and grew?
No, made. It's a cross of Chrysophyllum canito and Prunus cerulata. The junk DNA in every cell of it contains her entire genome.
Wow.
Takes a lot of looking after.
But you're doing it for her.
Makes it all worth it. You're right, though. This place is very expensive. Why do you think I live in a pod in the Southeast Barrel?
I didn't know that was where you lived either. I think I figured out why you went off the grid to come up here tonight. You heard about Baxter, didn't you?
They let a monster like that walk.
They didn't parole him because they approve of what he did. He's out because he's got skills Central thought would be useful. With a governor jammed in his limbic system, well, he won't be the same man. He can't even imagine hurting anyone again.
Even if it were completely true, I know that there is absolutely no way I could forgive him.
On the bright side, he'd probably be pretty mad at you too. Well, if he could have thoughts like that anymore without falling over and puking, you put him away, and that counts for something. I know it's not exactly normal for you to open up, but if you want someone to talk to,
Central wants us?
I'm afraid so. We better get going. You coming?
But I was like having a clandestine meeting with Stobbart.
I just need a moment to think, Max. A little privacy. It's why I came up here in the first place.
I understand, Charlie. I'll be in the car. I'll see how long I can stall Central.
Max,
Yes?
Nothing.
That's all right, Charlie. I understand. I'll be in the car.
I can't ask for her help in this. I'm not even sure what this is yet.
You are alone, as requested?
Yes? Now what is this about?
1448D-A, 1448D-B, 1448D-C, 1448D-E.
Excuse me?
Your stomach lurches as you recognize the image. You know them, you've seen them before, but you hadn't remembered them by number. Whoever is calling you has 4 embryo containers, your own.
What about them?
They were removed from the Alracis Medical Center, originally deposited at 1615 on the 11th of November 2065. They have been fertilized by yourself and Dr. Victor Regis. They were frozen at the earliest viable phase of growth. 3 are female and 1 is male. They were deposited after your fertility treatment proved...
Stop! Why are you telling me this? Who are you? And what are you doing with my my embryos?
You are about to meet with a contact, Giel Vanderwall. In his home is an active memory module, a most unique model. You will secure it for us. Further instructions will follow.
And what if I don't? That image could be a sim.
Apparently, you need more incentive not to waste my time. One is gone. 3 remain. Do it quickly. Your legacy is in jeopardy.
A conflict brews in your mind and in your heart. Giving in to blackmail like this would be the antithesis of everything you stand for, both as an agent of the law and as a human being. On the other hand, you cannot bring yourself to risk a small part of the legacy that you've worked for so many years to maintain.
To save the lives of our children? I think I can accept that.
You know, it's funny, I was just talking to Lau about those things.
So, despite the incident at Animus, I may have some good news. We might have a break in that string of mindjackings.
Vanderwall agreed to talk.
Yeah. How'd you guess?
He couldn't hold out forever. What did he say?
Didn't want to talk over the...
Lau?
Central wants a word.
Dr. Regis, Dr. Lau.
This isn't just a social call for an update, is it, Central?
Dr. Regis, lately you have spent a great deal of your time off network. It is for your safety and that of the citizens that we...
Central?
All points bulletin, evacuation in progress at Barber's Gate Transit Station. Case officers Regis and Lau assigned to crisis management.
What's happening at the...
All case data has been transferred to Dr. Lau. Your vehicle has been rerouted. Please seek an expedient resolution to the situation. Central out.
Businesslike as ever. Let's go see what this is about.
Well, this seems like a good place to save our game.
Mm-hmm.
And next time, we'll find out what this crisis situation is all about. Until then, thank you so much for joining us again. David, I appreciate you joining me for Technobabylon. This is a good time so far.
Yeah, we're having a good time. We're going to solve puzzles. We're going to boomer our way through the distant future, have a good time, and you'll join us next time because you want to find out what's going on here, and we want to slather some more mind hacking goo over everything.
You will join us next time, right?
Yeah, you're gonna be here on time. Live.
You're gonna come back, right? You wouldn't abandon us. I mean, this is just getting started.
Is this a bad time to mention that I'm very needy?
Anyhow, Thank you very much. Remember to save early and save often. Hopefully you're enjoying this. I think it's pretty cool so far. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens to Dr. Lau and the Boomer Dad.
And Evil George Stobbart, Mindjacker guy.
Yes. Yes. Also, I can't help but wonder if we could have saved that embryo if I'd have been a little bit nicer, but hey, you know what? What's done is done. This is now official saving off in canon. We don't restore save games here. We live with the consequences of our actions. That is why we save early and save often, so we can imagine what could have been had we not picked the wrong thing. So, anyway, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.
Until next time.